Well, that last one was a disaster. Psalms 48, though, we're going to work on this one. And we're going to get to the text here, right here. And then start here. Excuse me. YV is great and greatly to be praised in the city of our Creator and his holy mountain. Beautiful in elevation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion in the far north, the city of a great king, creators in her palaces. He has made himself known as a stronghold. For lo, the kings assemble themselves. They pass by together. They saw it when they were amazed. They were terrified. They were terrified. They beheld. They fled in alarm. They were terrified and fled in alarm. Panic seized them. There is no anguish. Their anguish was like their anguish was like a woman in childbirth. With the east winds, you do break the ships of Tarnish. Now that's not true. Tarnish is on the east side. It's land. If it's blowing from the land, if they're all parked or docked in this place, I believe I have Tarnish in the right place. Yeah. But I'm gonna need that answer. Yeah, I don't see, okay, Tarnish is here, it's Spain. Okay, the east winds this way, if they come through the east winds, they're traveling this way. Okay, now, okay, ships of Tarnish, from Tarnish. Oops. They do a lot of adding the word do. You break ships of Tarnish. As we have heard, so have we seen in the city of YV, in the city of our great creator, or city of our creator. Creator will establish her forever. Well, our creator is established forever and ever. Putting the female goddess in there, did you notice that? By just sticking the words her in there, will establish her forever, because right now the winds are broke. Talking about the city as her, no. Don't put a female deity in anything, such as nature is not Mother Nature. Our creator created everything, so our creator created everything. Don't put a female deity over it. How little do you know what comes out your mouth? You're going to be you're going to be measured by your words. We have thought of your love kindness Our Creator is in the midst of that temple. Could be tent, could be house. As is your name, Creator. As your title, Creator. So is the praise. So is your praise to the ends of the earth. Your right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion be glad. Let the daughters of Judah rejoice because of your judgment. Walk about Zion and go around it. Although I'm gonna surprise you here in a bit because of this all and count its towers. Because this, consider its ramparts. Go through its roads, not palaces. There's no palaces there. So that you may tell of it to the next generation. For such is our Creator. Our Creator is forever and ever. He will guide us until death, even after death. So wait a second here. Okay, now up here. What does it mean by says far north? This is very good. This you have to pay attention to. What is the far north? Well, in the far north is Mount Zion, okay? No, it's really when it's the joy of the whole earth, okay? And beautiful in elevation. Where is the far north if it's in a beautiful elevation? The far north is the North Star, okay? In the far north means the North Star. Now, this is his holy mountain, okay? The star's motion forms a mountain with the North Star being its peak. In the description below, I go through and I take you the whole yards, and I go through all the other Bibles, and this is the only one, or the other one took and copied these verses right here as to put in their Bible. But the object is New American Standard. It tells the only place where our Creator's heaven is at, or Mount Zion is at, and he lives above the North Star, which is where his heaven is located. So when you stop and think of when you're reading these verses, and you read in the far north, well, our Creator is above the far north. If that's his mountain, then it's down from him, and that's where everyone was ascending to, where our Creator ascended to, where Moses looked to heaven and raised his staff to ask for a plague, where Solomon opened up his arms and knelt and looked to heaven and petitioned our Creator, where fire came down from heaven and ascended and licked up the offering when they were dedicating the house to him, as this is your house now. They made the house for him. You got to understand, it's very important, because when Jesus was baptized, from heaven came his breath and ascended onto Jesus. This is so important to understand visually what's going on. Jesus turned and asked our Creator for a blessing so he could feed the people. Where did he look? He looked to the north. Okay? So it's not a city of the great king. It's going to be the kingdom. For our greatest king, meaning Jesus. So now we have Jesus in the text. We know where his kingdom is going to be, in the far north, in heaven. See there, in heaven. Is the mountain. It's not a mount, it's a mountain. In fact, just above the text here, it calls it his holy mountain. Beautiful in elevation. Well, great is YV, and greatly he is to be praised. His holy mountain beautiful elevation is the joy of the whole earth, which the whole earth can see, is called Mount Zion, is called Mount Zion. Now, when you watch the video below, I correct a lot of this because I try to teach you that the stars that are moving are the second heaven. So where I got beautiful in elevation, I got, I think it's the second heaven. His holy mountain is the second heaven, the joy of the whole earth, where you don't need these words in elevation. But the object is you should know that there's three heavens, and this text is the only text in the only Bible that really tells us where heaven is located. But whether I'm going to be able to get anything out of this, I'm not sure. Great is YV, and greatly is he to be praised. In our city, which would be Jerusalem, for our Creator, because they did build a city right around his tent or his house for meeting with him. Great is YV, and greatly is he to be praised in our city, for our Creator. In our city, for our Creator. His holy mountain is beautiful in elevation. Now that you know what his holy mountain is, the joy of the whole earth, is called Mount Zion in the far north, where the kingdom of our greatest king. In the far north, where the kingdom for our greatest king All I can think of is to put will be. Here. And change this to this, and then add it, and I've got 333, so 3. A lot of creators in her palaces. Nope. Palaces, there's no palaces. You might want to go search the King James real quick to see what they think is the far north, because definitely the word far and north is there almost 100% of the times. When it's there, it's north, but the word far comes from the word remotest, remote. So the remote north, the far north. He will make himself known. No, they're talking about our king coming. So this will make himself known as a stronghold, and we're talking about Jesus here, I believe. So let me put it there. He will make. Well, not really. He'll make himself known as could be strongest, not stronghold. I'm gonna just use let that go like that. Strongest. Then the kings will assemble and pass by together, and not pass by. What would and pass by together, meaning that they went before him. When they saw it, they were amazed. Now hold on here. Then the kings will assemble and pass by him together. But this next, this is not flowing here. It's like this here is now separate from this here. When they saw him, they were amazed. When they saw him, and they were amazed. They were terrified and fled in alarm. Well, when they saw him, this wouldn't have been. This doesn't connect to anything either. Pass by him together. because they aren't terrified. There, if you assemble together as kings and you're to go before the greatest king, you are acknowledging him as the greatest king. So they weren't terrified and they didn't flee in the alarm. Panic seized them. There was anguish like. So this is definitely now something second. Because I've got 3 verse, and I've got 4 here. They were terrified and fled in alarm. Panic seized them. They were in anguish like a woman. They were terrified and fled in alarm. There, and I'm reading it as there, as IR, and not their anguish. Their anguish. Yeah, but that's, I'm sorry, I just caught that. Sorry. It's their anguish. Not their location was an anguish. They were terrified and fled in alarm. Panic seized them. Their anguish was like the birth of, because this here seems to hook. This one just stuck out in the middle. It seems a little bit too long. And their anguish was like. And then I would drop it down here. With the east wind, you did break up the ship's tarnish. See, that is out. That just doesn't hook to anything. Stuck in the middle. Taste even bad when you retaste these things. As we have heard, so have we seen in the city of YV. City of YV. Our creator will, because I'm trying to tie it up to here in case they're just sticking something in here. Our creator will establish him forever. Will establish him forever, not her forever. That is, we have heard of him, meaning that Nathan, when he came to tell David about his son's son will become the king, we have heard of him, and they will see him in the, and they will see him, and they will see him in the city of YV. Okay, that sounds like we're back on track here. We have heard him, and this would be like this in this color. And they will see him, and they will see him. Because I'm really trying to tie it up to here, because this here is not any good at all. I don't see anything connecting here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of all this right now and be done with it. We have heard of him, and they will see him in Jerusalem. I would say just name the place as is. And at that time it was a good place to go and not a bad place to go. In the city Jerusalem. Now these are 3 verse. I want to do something like this. For no, let's see, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. For YV, and then all this out. For YV will establish him forever. Okay, and this forever is forever. We have thought of your love kindness for him. We have thought we thought of your kindness. Not of him, I will correct that to make it for him. For him. This is because he's gone to Jerusalem. We'll see him in Jerusalem, for why we will establish him forever. We have thought of your love kindness for him. Your right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion be glad. Well, that's Mount Zion. You know where Mount Zion is at now, so that's wrong. Let the daughters of Judah rejoice because of your judgments. You can't walk about Zion. We have thought of your love kindness for him in the midst of your temple, midst of your house. We have thought of your love kindness for him. I don't see this making any sense, so I'm trying to say, can I make your house part of the next verse? Your house is for your name. Is for your name. So is your praise to the ends of the earth. Well, I guess before I do that, do this. And then 3 verse. We have thought of your love kindness for him. Greater, oops, that's right, this is gone. Your house is, we have thought of your love kindness for him. Your house is for your name. And he will be praised to the ends of the earth. And he will be praised. I don't see this working. And he will be praised. And he will be praised to the end of man on earth. Which, if you know about the second coming, that's the end of man on earth. So we have thought of your love kindness for him, and he will be praised. And now he will be praised. We have thought of your love kindness for him, and now he will be, and then he will be praised. Then. Taking this one out, and then he will be praised to the end of man on earth. There's only one word in this, but that's we have thought of your love for him. In fact, I think it would be love and get rid of this. Your love for him. By our Creator, he will be praised. And with our Creator, he will be praised. Okay, let's see. We have thought of your love for him, and with our Creator, he will be praised to the end of the earth. End of man on earth, excuse me. His right hand will be full of justice, or righteousness. His right hand. His right hand His right hand is full of justice. I don't think it's full of justice. By your right hand, he is righteous. By his hand, he is. Let the daughters of Judah rejoice because of his judgment. His right hand is for righteousness. His right hand is full of righteousness. I just can't get over this, how to get that one, because let the daughters of Judah rejoice because of his judgments. Walk about Zion. He will walk about Jerusalem. He will walk. Oops, yeah. Like this, and then like this. And then this is Jerusalem. And not Zion. And go around it, counting its towers. Oh, I don't see him doing that. He will walk about Jerusalem and consider its ramparts, and go through its roads. He will walk. This here needs correcting, okay? It's just stuck in my head. I can't get it. I can't. He will walk about Jerusalem. Counting its towers. Now, they didn't have towers at that time on the corner when the city wasn't built up. But I know as the kings were coming, as the kings were living in Jerusalem over time, I know that one of the kings did put towers there because Egypt was coming to attack them. And he fortified it, and they put sophisticated weapons there that I guess the Egyptians weren't ready for. But the object here is, I'm thinking that's the story, how that, but this couldn't have happened at that time. Let the daughters of Judah rejoice because of his judgments. He will walk about Jerusalem and go around it. He will walk about Jerusalem, and these ramparts, I don't think these two would have been at that time. So how do I skip over them and count them out and put those two verses as the three verses? Go around about it. He will walk about Jerusalem and go around it. He's walking in Jerusalem, then he's walking around it, looking at it. and go around it and go through its palaces. There's no palaces. Palaces were in the east. There was no kings that set up palaces. I guess Nebuchadnezzar had a palace, excuse me. Go around it. I would say going along its roads, but I'm just not see it. That you may tell it to. And then it would be now you are to tell now you're to tell this. You're to tell this. And it would be to, and then I can get just rid of it because that we know is they're adding, I can get rid of it. Now you're tell this. This is what they just wrote about. To our next generation. Our next generation. Now you are to tell this to our next generation. Now you are to tell us. Tell us our greater. Now you are to tell this. I added the word this. To our next generation. Our greater will. He will guide them until death. That's just not. If I tried to make that Jesus, I'm cheating here on knowing what's going on, what happened. So this, he will walk about Jerusalem. And if I just get rid of these, because this is, he will walk about Jerusalem, and then if I do this, and then like this, and then I know that this is not saying anything, but the object is he will walk about Jerusalem. Now you are to tell this to our next generation. Now you are to repeat this to the next generation. Yeah, let me go up here, grab this. Let's just do a quick cleanup, and maybe the text will change somewhat. I didn't see that. Let's get it on one page here so I don't, well, I got to get it past this mark here and the way the pages are divided. I made them 20 inches long so I didn't have to miss out on skipping like this, and so I need to make myself known. Yep, there we go. Cleanup is done except for right there. And I'm just gonna, oops, gotta make that smaller. Yeah, there. But I'm thinking that's pretty close to the end there. I mean, the yellow text, sure, I got things to clean up there, but right now we're getting to the format stage. And here we have the format. And that means we go on to the next one.